You have entered Champion Mentality with Cess Talks. We're going to give it a name, but we may ask even the fam to give it a name for this segment when we have these cross platforms. Cess, what it do?
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you accommodating and even going live early for me today. What's happening?
What's happening?
Glad to be here. Let's talk some women's hoops. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's good?
This is what we're going to talk. Before we talk and do our review real quick, let's talk about the leaderboard. We got 4 games in, right? Is that about correct? Tonight will be game 5, the 5th game of the season for some teams, right? Whoever played tonight.
Sure.
Is that correct? So tonight on the early leaderboard, points is give you the top 4. Alyssa Thomas from Connecticut, 24 points per game. Dewana. Not Joanna, but Bonner. That's Coach Rowe really said he's really high on her. And I agree. She's very consistent. 22 points per game. Sabrina Askew.
Yeah, that's cool. You know me. That's cool. No, Ionescu.
From the Liberty, 20 points. Tied at 4th. Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, 17 points per game apiece. Rebounds. Top 5. Alyssa Thomas, Connecticut. Brianna Stewart, Liberty. She's at 2nd place with 11. Teamy Fabiganoff from Indiana. How you pronounce her last name? I messed it all up.
Oh, I always mess it up. Coach. That's why I just stopped at
Right.
Teamy.
Your homegirl that's a little fed up. You talked about Jewel Lloyd. I remember you mentioned her. Like, yeah, she's fed up. She's number 4 spot rebounds right now on the leaderboard. And at the 5th spot for rebounds, Aaliyah Boston.
All right.
He has 8 rebounds for the season.
Yeah, she's definitely been able to get her rebounds in.
We go to assists. Alyssa Thompson, Connecticut, 9. Sabrina, that's cool. 8. Skylar Diggins Smith from Seattle, 7. Caitlin Clark, 5. And Kelsey Mitchell, 5. Both of them are tied for 4th place in the leaderboard with assists, blocks. At number 1, with 3, AB, Aaliyah Boston. Number 2, Caitlin Clark. With 2, Jonquel Jones. I call her like a little she got like little Ewok face and cute like Jonquel Jones.
You are so funny. Okay.
Mag Bigor Ezzy from Seattle with 2. Brianna Stewart with 2 blocks. Going on to steals. Brianna Stewart has 3. Number 1, Brianna Jones from Connecticut, 2. Nasia Laney Hamilton, 2. Jewel Lloyd, 2. Alyssa Smith, 2. Going to turnovers. Aaliyah Boston, number 1, 6. Caitlin Clark, 5. Sabrina, that's cool, 5. Skylar Diggins Smith, 4. Jewel Lloyd, 3. 3-pointers made. Number 1, Caitlin Clark, 3. Tied with Ty'Asia Harris from Connecticut with 3. Sammy Wickham from Seattle has 3 made. Mitchell has 2. Victoria Vivens from Seattle, 2. Free throws made. Alyssa Thomas made 8. Dewana Bonner, they're both from Connecticut. The top 2 is 2 players from Connecticut. Dewana Bonner has 7. Alyssa Smith, 6. Sabrina, that's cool, 5. Jonquel Ewok. No, I'm saying Jones, 5. And last but not least, the fantasy points. Alyssa from Connecticut, she is the top 1 with 51. Brianna Stewart, number 2 with 38. Caitlin Clark with 32. Sabrina, that's cool, with 32 fantasy points. And Dewana Bonner with 30. Any of those stats, anything stick out to you found interesting in any of that early in the leaderboards right there?
Ty Harris is having a great start to the season. Alyssa Thomas, great start to the season. I don't know that I saw them. Those names there. Glad to see that AB is getting the rebounds and the defense done. Actually, we've been talking about she's still trying to find her footing or figure out if she belongs there in Indiana. Surprised there. Also surprised that none of the players that I'm looking at as potential MVPs are in those conversations right now, and maybe it's because they just haven't played enough games. We're gonna find out. But like when I'm looking at like one of my players, I'm looking at Jackie Young having an outstanding start to the season. I think 22.5 points, six
I
and a half
think
rebounds,
right.
8.5 assists, like almost a triple double, right? And then of course Asia. I think Asia's on a mission for MVP. I just think they don't have enough stats yet to compete. Like I'm liking it. Stewie is up there. Stewie is one that I'm watching. Jonquel Jones, one that I'm watching. They didn't have that energy for Las Vegas last year, so I'm really looking to see. They off to a good start. I can't wait for this first matchup with the Aces and the Liberty. I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Some surprises in there, but then we'll see after everybody's had. Because I think New York is probably the only team that's played 4 games so far.
Right. Exactly.
Connecticut might be in there with 3.
Right.
The Aces, we one or 2 games I think under our belts, and maybe just one. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let me check here.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we it's 2-0. So
with the standards, you got New York 4-0, Connecticut 4-0, Las Vegas 2-0, Minnesota 2-0, Phoenix Mercury 1-1, Chirac 1-1, right? Chirac
mm-hmm.
Barbie, right? Dallas
Chirac
Wings
Barbie, you better believe
1-1,
it.
Atlanta 1-1, Seattle 1-3, Sparks 0-2, Washington Mystics 0-3. But I'm gonna tell you, Washington Mystics are looking good though. I think they're
You like
really.
the way the Mystics looking?
I mean, compared to last season, I feel they have
Okay.
improved. I have felt they improved and have something to build, and they bring it. They've given a better quality product to the city. Right,
Oh yeah.
right now it's early, but right so far they came out with a good product. And then the Fever. For what Coach Rose said they was going to give that game away, and they found a way, and that's because it's young and you got a lot of variables. We have time. I think that's a whole different session for us to break down what's going on there. Uh, right now, we're going to go week 1 review for us would be May 14th to the 18th. So first game would be the Liberty versus the Mystics. Liberty had 85 and Mystics 80. And then we'll go to the box scores for you. As you're breaking that down, Cess, I'll give you some individual stats from both sides of the team. So what do you think?
So we starting. You said we starting 14th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Let's start Liberty Mystics. Let's start
it
Liberty
was a
Mystics.
5-point game.
So here's the thing with the Mystics. I think for the Mystics, it's going to be about consistency, right? So we got Ariel Atkins. She gave him, I think, 20. If I'm on the right game, correct me in the chat, y'all. If I'm wrong, fam, y'all know, keep me honest. Stephanie Dolson, Shakira Austin, I think is going to be
She's great energy.
Great, a big X factor for them. 13 and 5, I think is a really good look for her, throwing in the 2 assists in the steal. Carly Samuelson, I think, also will play some factors, but I think more importantly for me in this game, it was just how was New York Liberty going to show up. I felt like they were a little inconsistent in the preseason. Maybe playing a little bit of possum, maybe just some veterans. Like, hey, the preseason didn't matter as much. I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to just turn the switch on, but game time came on and the switch came on and Stewie showed up.
Right.
We go. Jonquel Jones showed up in a way that we haven't seen her show up before. And really, I think that game was more about Jonquel Jones. I think Stewie, for me, did more of the small things. It was the rebounding, the assist, things like that. Because I think she only had 8 points in that first game out.
Stewie, she only had 8 games. That's 8 points. That's correct.
But you had Jonquel.
Jonquel, Sabrina,
25.
Was it Bet Nadeja? I messed her name up. Lady Hamilton.
Laney Hamilton. I mess it up all the time. But I need to turn the TV up and listen to how they say some of these names.
Right.
I thought it was Benaya. I have no idea. I don't want to.
Benaya, I think you're correct. Yep.
Laney Hamilton.
Lady Hamilton. So we'll just look at the points real quick. For the Mystics, Carly Samuelson had 7 points, going 27 minutes. Shakira Austin, I think she's a great person, has a great energy. And Fitzwell, she had 13 points in 19 minutes and 35 seconds played in the game. Stephanie Dawson had double digits with 12. She played about almost 27 minutes. Ariel Atkins, you're correct, had 20 points. I think that she's a key. Her consistency, I agree with you, might be key to their success if she can find some consistency. And added to that, she scored 20 points and 30, and she played 34 minutes of the game. Brittany Sykes had 14 points, and she played 29 minutes. My Isha Hines Allen had 5 points, averaging 19 minutes. Julie Van Loo had 3 points. She played almost 13. Aaliyah Edwards had six points. I thought that was great. Uh, First game out, she did 14 minutes, and that was people that got into the points for New York. Lady Hamilton, 20 points. She played 33 minutes. Stewie, 8 points in 31 minutes. Jericho Jones, 25 points. She played almost 33 minutes. Sabrina, that's cool. 33 played 33 minutes and she had 15 points. Courtney Van Sloot.
No.
6 points, and she played almost 28 minutes. Okay. Sabali. I like Sabali. I like she's
and
great.
I think that's the younger Sabali. So I think that's the younger
Naira
Sabali. Still growing. Upside is that she possibly could be better than Satu.
I think
as she comes in into her own.
Sabali played 7.5, had 2 points. Liani played 12.5 minutes, 2 points. Kitty Burke got her feet wet, played about 8 minutes, 6 points. Ivana Docic, okay, point. And Markeisha did not play. Coach's decision. Markeisha Davis.
Bree Wayne, she is the youngest, just like Serena. She can grow into a better player than Satu. Don't do that. Don't cut her off.
What Bree Wayne talking about?
Bree Wayne say that Sabali can't be better than Satu. She can grow up and be better than Satu. Bree Wayne, she got time. Ain't she the baby? Hold on. The most interesting thing about this whole thing, especially with New York, with them having played 4 games, I'm concerned about Markeisha Davis hasn't played at all too much, maybe 2 minutes in the 4 games. And so I'm just wondering, like, how is she developing?
Right.
Is she gonna see the floor this season? Kind of what's going on? I thought that she would have been more one of the guards that they kind of go to, but
we don't know how she responds in practice, and what you mentioned in many of your lives how they process the information in the playbook, in the reads, in the expectation of how you're reading. You're doing the reads in your offense, right? Just like you have reads of defense and offense, you got to read the screen, so whatever their offensive playbook looks like, is it according to how the team operates? Are you doing your reads? Are you comfortable? Are you thinking too much about the offense instead of just going, instead of making a basketball play? So the thing is, are you uncomfortable? Here's the thing. There's some players you're comfortable with making making a mistake while they're playing because they're going to figure out. So you just don't know what the level of a progression is. And I'm going to say that any rookie too.
I think, yeah, definitely that part. But I think for me, it's even the fact that, and I don't necessarily follow the New York Liberty. So chat, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen any coverage. She's one of those other ones that I'm, in the daytime with a flashlight looking for her because what have we seen? Have we seen her the team take her in? Have we seen her? We ain't seen her on the floor. So, and we haven't seen her in practice. So it's just like, is there a vet that took her under their wing? How are they making her comfortable? Because part of this too is like, this is a marriage that they trying to have here. So how are they working with each other? Brian Pearson, hold on, this is his show, and his name is Coach Coleman. I'm just visiting. So this is Coach Coleman, and you would have to ask him if you can ask him a question, Brian. I'm just showing the show also on my platform. So let's be clear. This is champion mentality with Coach Coleman, and I am just the guest here. So I'm hanging out. Fam, I appreciate y'all showing up. Bree Wayne, I know you said Camilla ate her up when Brazil played Belgium a few years ago. I'm gonna go watch Bree Wayne, but she younger. She growing still. We giving her a chance. But
right.
it looks like I guess the question is to you, Coach, about what do you think about Angel Reese?
I think one of the things about Angel Reese, she's very savvy player, intelligent. She's not given enough credit of knowing how to be a team player, knowing how to fit in. I feel like she did a great job embracing where she's been drafted to. And she got a good fit for a coach as well. I think what she needed at this time. Player wise and business wise, she has a great support. She's put a great team around her, and when all the smoke settles, the dust settles, I think she put a very good supportive network around her to get her in a very positive direction. But when it comes to business, sometimes you play the part to push the game forward, and that was a young lady that didn't have to do what she did, but she was willing to do it for the bigger picture of more than just her, but for other ladies to have, I think, to benefit from the game as it grows. So I feel that's what I've seen on the outside looking in, and so my hats off to that young lady, and I think that's overlooked a lot of what she's done and the heart that she has to see others be successful as well. So that's my take on her.
No, I feel you. I totally agree. She's building a brand. I think she just became co-owner of a football team. Partial owner in a football team. I mean, she's
not trying to play ball. She ain't trying to tear her knees up. She already got rides and from injuries from high school and college. I mean, AAU and USA. So it's a lot of mileage. I think some people, we tend to forget by the time they get to pros, they deserve the money because they put so much mileage on their body, and their body and their talent is, their skill set and their talent is the value which they get paid for, and that's a whole different platform. And so, they deserve that amount of money because what it took to get there and to stay in that shape and to stay in the mix to be considered a professional. That's not an easy task. Here we go. We got on May 14th, another game was played. 71 Fever, 92 Connecticut Sun.
I mean, we've seen this.
Yeah, we watched that thing.
I mean, we've seen this. We've seen this a few times now. I mean, Indiana just doesn't have an answer. For New York, they're still figuring things out. Caitlin is scoring. Caitlin is turning the ball over. Aaliyah Boston is starting to look a little bit more comfortable. I don't know, but not comfortable enough for me. Like I said, I feel like for them to be successful with Caitlin, it's going to be an inside-out type of game.
Right.
And that's not something that we've ever asked Aaliyah Boston to do. I don't know that I've ever seen Aaliyah play an inside-out type of game. One thing that's unique about Dawn is she's going to build the program around kind of what her talent is, and she doesn't just have a set program. It's a standard, but what happens on the court is dictated by the talent that she has available.
Exactly.
So when you had Aaliyah down there, it went through her, and now it's not going through her. And we're gonna find out if she stays there or not. I'm not convinced that it's the best place for her. Like I said, I've told the fam and you, I think the size is in a catch-22.
Right.
Anything short of a championship, is not going to be enough. So her days are numbered, I believe. And I think they'll try to. I just think that Indiana's going to try to make a move to get more players like either from Iowa or like some of the Iowa players to come in and play around Caitlin.
And I don't think that's going to be successful because I think it's in vain.
Well, I think what I thought about today, Coach, is I don't think that everybody has the same goal, right? And so what Caitlin's goal is for Caitlin's career might not be the same goal that the WNBA has for her career, and we're going to see who has the best. It may not even be the best. We're going to see who wins out. I think Caitlin wants to come in here and it's about winning and being able to play and be the best player that she can be. And for the W, unfortunately, they want to see her win, but I think they also want to win as a league, and it'll be more about bottom line for the W than it will be about getting Caitlin championships. Kendall L, what's good?
Yeah, they definitely. I agree. She is bot Bree Way. No, I'm just teasing you, Bree Way. I agree with you. There is pressure to make the playoffs, even if it's that last spot. You got to make the playoffs, and so you might find you. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a coaching change when you get to the halfway mark in games played, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not at 500. But we'll see. So real quick, in that Connecticut game, he had Dewana Bonner had 20 points, Alyssa Thomas had 13. Brianna Jones from the Connecticut Sun had 8. Carrington, I think that's big. I think Coach Rose said she's kind of big on how she was playing right now. Had 16. Was it Dejanay Carrington? She had
Dejanay
16.
Carrington is she's on a mission right
Yeah,
now.
she
She's on a
is.
mission.
She is. Taisha Harris had 16. Olivia Nelson Ododa 2. Rachel Bottom 10. Tiffany Mitchell had 4. And Mariah Jefferson, a Husky, right? Herself had 3. Going over to the Sun, who got into the points column. Katie Lou, not Carly.
Samuelson.
It's
Katie Lou.
Katie Lou.
Uh-huh.
2 different ones, right? She had 5. Melissa Smith had 13, and she's coming along. She runs that floor. Aaliyah Boston, 4. Caitlin Clark, 20. Erica Wheeler, 8. Christy Wallace, 5. Kelsey Mitchell, 8. Grace Berger, 4. Timad, 4. And that is it. Lexi Holden played Victoria Sackton. Did not play Celeste Taylor. I feel you got to get Celeste Taylor some reps. You need to use the length of Victoria Sackton. I feel you have some things on the bench you can, if you know how to manage, or your staff have effective staff, you can figure out how to manage those things and get the best out of it.
Sure you can. I think what concerns me the most about Indiana is that nobody has a positive plus minus on this team. No, nobody. There's nobody on the floor that has a positive plus minus affecting the game.
Right.
I don't know how they can win. I don't know how they can win like that. It's like people are scoring in pockets, but it's not having a positive impact on the game. It's not showing up. It's not turning into wins for them. I know in the chat they were talking about maybe Caitlin. Well, not they. RC probably was the one saying, Caitlin should just go Caitlin. But when you look at Caitlin, right, again, the most minutes, most shots.
I mean,
those are the
right now
things that she was doing at Iowa.
Right now, she doesn't have a pro game, and I say that respectively because it's a transition process. When I say she doesn't have a pro game, and you have to have one, and somebody else mentioned in the chat when I listened to your lives, and you have to have a pro mentality. She doesn't have a pro attitude yet. Like this is not Big Ten protect you, the whiny and cut. Like here's the thing: it's not your fault that some of this stuff is put in Target, but now you have to manage it, and you got to work with it. You got to deal relationships. You need to deal positive relationships, and you need to deal a healthy understanding with your teammates. Because it's always not about liking to win. You don't have to like each other to win, but you have to have the common goal and respect. The like and the love, okay, the warm fuzzies, that's added to the sauce. But at the end of the day, it's a professional job. You're on a national stage.
I think people get sports mixed up. I think people get sports mixed up a lot of times because they're like, well, they're not friends. They don't hang out.
Right.
This is a job.
Right.
This is a job. How many people from your job you hang out with? Not a lot of them. So it's really special for me if you meet somebody at your job that you want to hang out with on a personal basis. You might do some work stuff. You might, that's my coworker. We go out after work, but hanging out all the time with people from your job, I don't know that happens all the time. And so they don't have to be friends, but they definitely have to be professional, and they definitely have to be able to respect each other. They definitely have to get to a point where they at least are seeming like they fighting for the same goal. They got to at least get to talking on the court. That rookie setup that happened on Caitlin with the screen to Jonquel and Stewie was in on it too. It was like they was coming down the court and it was like, hey, we got one. You see it? Yeah. Oh, come on, let's go. Head on the swivel, and I need your your team called. Nobody said
Right.
nobody said scream, look out, nothing. She popped back up, so nobody really had to come help her up. But I'm just saying, like, just that, that type of chemistry is what I'm looking is what I'm looking to see Indiana kind of start having. But I guess the problem with that I have with it is this, coach, and you're a coach, so tell me. For me, calling out screens and that kind of stuff is basketball 101. Like, that happens. You learn to do that very, very early in basketball.
Well, if you pitch a teammate off, they're not gonna call out the screen for you.
Okay, see, now we can have a conversation. So that's what I'm wondering. Are they not calling it out? Because somebody else was like, well, I saw on one of my TikTok posts, somebody was saying, well, you can't expect them to be calling out screens yet. They're a young team. And I was like, no, that's basketball 101.
That's common. You got some bets on Indiana, so they know that. I mean,
so I wanted to get your opinion on at what level should you be calling out screens? Because for me, that came very early in the game.
Well, usually, if you notice, if they're in tandem, somebody's already pushing up the switch off on you on that screen, so you don't lose the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, everybody was okay with the setup. They already knew what it was.
Yeah. Hey,
this is grown. This is professional league. This is grown league. Okay.
And she looked so small when she bounced back up. And I know Stewie is really tall, but it was like, wow. In that moment, it made me realize how small Caitlin is. Like, there's still some beef there. Y'all talk about Chloe. Caitlin might need some grits too. She's gonna have to get her WNBA body. Eric Gray, yeah, middle school, if at the latest, okay. At the latest, Stephon was good.
What's
Donovan
up?
was good.
So we have the Tuesday game. We would go. Your aces, A1. They had 89, and Phoenix had 80 dinosaur reps.
Hey, that's the game. Diana dropped 7 threes, didn't she?
Yes.
I think Frosty had like 7 threes that game. She was on fire for the beginning of the game. It's amazing to see her still kind of playing at this level. Going to be interesting to see. So I'm here I'm waiting on the Diana Caitlin matchup. I want to see does she defend her and does she defend her the whole game? And how Caitlin plays against her. But I mean, the champs for the champs. I will say that I see teams getting a little bit longer, a little bit taller.
It's the
Asia effect. Yeah, Asia, and now they're taller than Asia, and so I'm interested and I'm loving the adjustments that she's making in the game.
Yeah.
Right now, went more to a face-up game instead of back to the basket game. Caught some blocks on some games later here in the season, but definitely popping out and hitting that midi.
Exactly.
Concerned about Chelsea Gray, of course.
I feel like she's at the end of her career at this point.
Well, tell us that. Like the all-knowing Bree Wayne let us know that she may she's trying to get back for this season, and I thought that what's the injury first? They haven't told us that.
I don't know if it was that. Remember, she had the knee at one point, right?
Well, now they saying foot, and then they said at the end of the last season during the playoffs that it was a foot, and then I heard leg, and then it was back to foot. But it's like, okay, well, what is wrong with her foot? What is wrong with her foot?
I don't have the exact because they all around.
I've never heard it.
When you manage a player like that, it is probably close to a career-ending thing. And if he comes back, it's gonna be a highly managed minutes.
So for me then, that and you being a coach, if that's how they kind of manage that, my issue with that would be, and maybe they have had the conversation internally, so that the younger players are, being sponges and soaking up information so that they're going to be ready to go. But if that's it, then we need to be thinking about what Jackie Young is going to be doing, how Kelsey Plum, how are we making up for this time, these points, and these minutes.
That's right. I got a reboot here on this other thing so I can tell me my minutes. If not, you got the next game on yours? Waiting on this other laptop. Fam, it's 45 in the chat. Make sure you run the likes on
pull it
on
up.
both on my platform and on Cess Talk. Make sure you jump in mine and hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. Please keep the encouragement. Hit the like and subscribe on Champion Mentality, and also run the likes up on your favorite Auntie Cess.
Lovely Lele, RC, home of the Aces Hawkeye Fever. What's good, y'all? Thanks for checking in. Jess Carter, what's happening? So the last game that I had for that day, I think, was Minnesota Lynx, Seattle Storm, and that was 83-70. Minnesota surprising me. Minnesota looking really, really good without Alyssa Peely. Remember, you heard it here first. Maybe Alyssa Peely is in the expansion draft and headed back west. I don't know. She may get comfortable. She's starting to look a little better later in the season. But this first game definitely didn't look like the Alyssa Peely that gave us that work. When we were in Utah. Seattle Storm, this was the first night I think everybody was still there. They just look clunky. They just look clunky. You know how sometimes you can have a nice car and you put too much stuff on it.
Yeah.
You put some wheels on it. It's just like they got too much stuff on their car. Like, take some of that off. You could have stayed factory, and then they got so much stuff on it.
Then you put the woofer in there.
And then they did all of that. They did all that, and it looked like they put and then they put some spinners on it. So now they look dated. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, y'all, take some of that off. I don't know that NECA and Jewel and all of them are going to look good on the floor together. Jewel Lloyd looked like she played better and more comfortable with just her and Skylar Diggins. We'll see what NECA looks like when she's coming back off the ankle injury. But my biggest issue with Seattle Storm is let Nika play.
Yeah.
Let Nika play. Let Nika play. They really fumbled the handling of this visa. And it's a shame because it's really costing them maybe some opportunities where they could have won. So I think that they'll benefit from having her defense and her points as soon as her visa is available, and I'm hoping that is as early as tomorrow. I'm hoping.
And that was the last game on the 14th.
Yeah, so we rolled into the 15th.
15th, we got the Sky and the Wings. Very close game, and a young team that they just didn't know how to finish the game. They're young. First year, it was a Sky who had 79 and Dallas had 87. Do we want to talk about who got into the score column for players?
I think, we don't have to go through them all. For me, it's so Dallas. Here's the thing about Dallas: if you're not gonna stick Enrique, then you got to shut everything else down. And then you got to figure out if you don't have any. I know you can't stop Enrique, but you also can't let her give you 11 points in the fourth, right? When you're trying to win a game. So rookie mistakes there. I think they were missing, definitely the rim protector in Cardoso that they're expecting. JC Sheldon, even though she didn't score a lot that game, I think fits in really well there. Chicago Sky figuring it out. Whose team is it? Who's the face of this thing? Who takes the last shot? Whose responsibility is that? Is that Diamond DeShields? Is that Money Marbury? Is that Angel Reese? Like, who is it? Angel's come in and she's been pretty close to the double that we know.
Right.
But I think they're still figuring it out.
Exactly.
But I think it was a good learning lesson from them.
Well, so here we're not going to go through the list, but here are the players that were your double-digit scorers for the Sky. Diamond DeShields, 14. Man, I loved her game in college, and she transitioned very easily to the pros. She had a pro game. She's one of those few. She had a pro game as a college player.
She's a great veteran for the rookies that they brought in there.
Angel Reese. 12. Is it Chirac Barbie now? Is that what she switched to? Is that what it is?
I've heard Chirac. I've heard Chirac Shouty. I heard Chirac Barbie. Okay. I heard Chi-Town Barbie. I don't know. Whoever she want to be. She's in charge in Chicago, it sounds like right now, though.
Elizabeth Williams, 12 points. I feel like she's going to be key to stay consistent. She's going to be a very key role player. Mabry, I feel she's got to be key and stay consistent. Had 19, and Dana Evans had 10. Okay. For the Wings, double-digit scores. Natasha Howard had 15. I think they're playing without her. She's hurt now, right? She's out.
Mm-hmm. Foot injury.
But Tiara McCowan had 18. Enrique, 25. 25. Maddie Seagrass is 13. Here's the thing. That one will piss me off if I let
Why is that?
Maddie Seagrass get 13.
Oh, that you said that would piss you off
as a coach and as a player.
You don't think she's a 13? You don't think she's a 13-5 type player?
I mean, we didn't play defense. That means we didn't play defense well. We
here's the thing. Here's my question.
We had four. We allowed 4 players to get double-digit score. So it will piss me off because we did not play defense well. You got 4 people with double digits.
It's Maddie's. You drew the line that you didn't get pissed off till 13-5 Maddie.
Right.
Now, I understand. I understand Enrique is Enrique.
Villanova from the Big East.
But McCowan had 18 and 13 on you, and then Howard gave you 15 and 13.
Yeah, you're
right.
So
I mean, not only did you give away double digits, but you gave away 2 double doubles, right? Doubles. That's an even bigger problem. I get you with but you also look at this stuff. That was when I was talking about Indiana. Indiana versus Dallas, right? When you look at them, only 2 of those players had negative plus minuses out of the whole team, right? That's what you want your plus minus to look like. Let's see. Not 3 bags of Cess. What's good? Look, what's happening?
Why you talking to some of the comments here? We're gonna go to the next. I'm gonna pull up the next game for us.
Let's let you learn to call out screens of youth directly when you're 12 years old. Okay, yeah, they do, don't they? Let's see. Last year I went to 2 Fever games, but that's more because I wanted to see Boston play and I didn't have to pay to attend. Okay, I'm with you.
We got Vegas and Sparks. What did you see from the Sparks?
Cameron Brink. I saw Cameron Brink looking comfortable. I think even more importantly, the Cameron, and I've said it enough already that you know how I felt about her coming in this year and how she's shown up. But Derrica Hamby, playing like she's gonna be somebody MVP right now. She's had some monster games. I'm enjoying the way that she's attacking. And I finally got a chance to kind of really see Rakia. I feel like Rakia is getting comfortable. I felt like there's some adjustments that she's going to have to make, especially with coming off the bench. I don't know if there's a time that she's come off the bench. When I was thinking about it, like she's probably always been that girl. So I don't know if she's ever had an opportunity to really have to come off the bench, and it may take her a moment to get adjusted to that, so that she knows how to come out and get her motor going. Like everybody's not a Malaysia Fuwali. Everybody can't just be that spark off the bench, that Vinnie Johnson. That when you say go, I go.
Right.
But I think I definitely think that she can play herself into a position where she can be a starter. But I also just think that she'll get more comfortable with being able to come off the bench. But for her to have the 7 points, she didn't shoot very well, but she was able to see she was able to get her first points. I think she got her first point, her first basket in the regular season. Was it a buzzer beater or something? So like the end of quarter or a half. It was not really significant. It wasn't a game winner, but definitely seemed like she's getting comfortable with the offense. Like I said, Derrica Hamby, if she's gonna give you 20 and 14,
trouble.
If she's gonna give you 20 and 14, and Kia Nurse is gonna give you 23.
Remember that? If Derrica Hamby do that, trouble.
Oh yeah, you was good. You was quick on your feet. That was good. You was smart. He was good.
He good. So what'd you say about Kia Nurse?
If Kia Nurse is gonna give you 23, and Derrica Hamby's gonna give you 20 and 14, and then Cameron Brink is just chipping in, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, but I don't know that they expected 11, 2, and 4 from her at the beginning of the season, and then you got Clarendon also giving you a triple double, 11, 10, and 10. Like LA Sparks are better than we thought, at least that I thought they were going to be, and Rakia Jackson, who in this game I think was the only impact off the bench. I think Zaya gave him 1 point for her to be able to contribute to 7 there. If they get this bench thing,
Zaya on thin ice, or is she gonna get through the season?
No, I think Zaya's on. I think she's fine. I think Zaya's fine. We figuring out everything else around. I think Zaya's fine. I think she stays there. I think she played better after that game. I think this was just more about being able to try to get the win against Atlanta. But listen, Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, Haley Jones, stand up. 25, 21, 14.
Right.
And then I'm sorry, Tina Charles gave the 21 and Alicia Gray had the 12. No, but I don't think they expected Tina Charles to play the way she did. She played kind of like I'm back. I don't know if she was able to sustain that into the next game, but it looked good that first game, and I think really helped Atlanta get over the hump.
Yeah, ATL.
Yeah. So if Tina Charles can be that for them on a continuous basis, that may have them winning a few more games than they won last season for sure.
Okay, so your double-digit scores for your aces on that Sparks game was Jackie Young 22, A1 Asia Wilson 22, Alicia Clark 13, K Plum Dog, right? 17. And for the Sparks, Kia Nurse had 13. Derica Hamby with the 29 we already mentioned. 16 for Lexi Brown. And off the bench, Rakia Jackson with 13. I think she's going to be okay. It's all right being that sixth person off the bench, don't you think? I think it's okay.
Being a sixth person off the bench for sure. But, okay, Coach, you got to catch me back up because you skipped on me. You went to the Sparks and the Aces. You went all the way to Saturday. I thought we was back still over here on Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
that was the Sparks and the Dream. That's why I was talking about Ryan Howard and him. So
I meant to give the stats for the just game we just talked about.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, wait, do I need to go? We fast forward. You gotta let me know. I'm keeping up.
No.
So,
I'll go back. Chat. Coach Coleman messed up. Don't listen to Coach Coleman. Not on that one. I made an oops. That was a turnover. All right, so we go. Sorry, let's go back to the Dream and the Sparks, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not editing this. It's fun. It's fun to be making mistakes.
Oh yeah, it's just live. This is it.
I am not going back and edit it. Okay, so the double-digit scores for the Sparks versus the Dream. Kia Nurse 23, Cameron Brink 11, Derica Hamby had 20. Okay, Clarendon had 11. She's got a crazy profile pic. Yeah, everybody see it. It looked like I don't know. I like.
Now you gonna make me go. Now you gonna make me go look.
Yeah, you gotta look at it. Clarendon on the Sparks. She got this look like the Peeps with the marshmallow bunny.
We gotta look at what she's talking about.
ATL Ryan Howard one of the double-digit scores in that game. 25. Tina Charles had 21. Alicia Gray had 12. Haley Johnson. I like Haley Johnson. 14. She has a great podcast too, where she interviews some of her baller friends. And that was it. They got a good bench too. ATL really low key. They got a solid core. So it's going to be interesting to see how they put all that together as the season goes. All right, now
that's going to be that. And this is what we finna find out. Is Kurt Miller the man? I think Kurt is a good coach. We finna find out.
Now we on May 16th.
All right, I'm keeping up, Coach.
Yeah, I didn't fast forward. I didn't go back to the future, as it said.
So 88 miles per hour. Let's go. Okay.
Right.
I mean,
why the games go at the same time? I think that's just sponsor availability.
Well,
brand.
I mean,
it's just
I mean in the NBA sometimes you get teams that are playing at the same time. It's just that's regional. They probably just had two West Coast teams. Probably in that case, but Thursday, Coach. I mean, we could talk about it, but it's just like the nightmare we keep on having. It's the New York Liberty and Indiana Fever.
Right.
102-66.
We're not even gonna open that box, right?
I mean, every time you close your eyes, Freddie is gonna come unless you figure this thing out, right? So,
oh man.
We can talk about it. I mean, we would be saying the exact same thing.
Here's the thing: as a coach, there's nothing I can say post game. What do you say when you get beat like that? There's nothing I can say. I see you at practice.
So, and I will say this though.
That's an ass whooping.
I will say this when I'm looking at the team. I do see that I do see that the coach tried to use the entire team more. They tried to use the bench more in this run, and maybe that's why she went back to a shortened bench because everybody here played except Celeste Taylor, and then Saxon is the only one that didn't give you anything. Everybody else at least gave you 4 points, but like 12 and 10 were the highest points on the team, and that was Boston and Katie Lou Samuelson. And Caitlin Clark didn't play very well at all over the 30 minutes that she was out there. She was 2 of 8, 1 of 7 from 3. Caitlin shoot 25% from the floor and 14.3% from 3 is not what Indiana signed her up for. And that won't work. So that's why they got that belt to ass right there. Paris Milan, what's good, fam?
That was a whole can. That was a whole can.
It's nothing. Same thing. New York Liberty are a tough team. They are the defending runner-ups for the WNBA. And like we talked about in the first game, Breanna Stewart only gave them about 8. Turn around this time. If Stewie's gonna give you 31 and 10, anybody's gonna have a hard time. And when she throws 4 assists in there with that, 3 steals, 2 block shots, what are we talking about? And then and some of this too is that's just charter bus strong right there. You put them on the charter bus, you get that charter bus type strength right there. So that's what it is. Maybe they'll soften up when they get to them charter flights, but the charter buses got them pissed off.
They was trying to get that. They was trying to eat that filet mignon on the bus. Okay.
Yeah, they were like, "We still on the bus? How this look?" Yeah, so definitely
on the bus. Get on the bus.
Get on the bus.
The double Dutch bus.
Oh no, double Dutch bus going down the street.
Indiana only had 2 double-digit scorers. Katie Lou Samuelson had 10, and Leah Boston in the game had 12. Your double-digit scorers for your Liberty, Lainey Hamilton 12. Stewie had 31. Jonquel 14. Iwa. Sabrina, that's cool.
That's cool.
Had 14. And that was your double-digit scores from both teams on that game. Am I back on track? My date's good now?
Yeah, we back on May 17th. Fam, Paris, thank y'all for jumping in the chat and hanging out with us. I am visiting on Champion Mentality's channel, Cess Talk Sports, just hanging out with Champion Mentality.
Make sure you hit the likes on Mom's page.
Run them likes up for us, y'all. And we are talking, just recapping the first week of games right here. So just recapping the first week of games here with Champion Mentality.
RC, don't feel some type of way. I see your comment, and I feel it is. I'm going to go back to Seth's comments. It's a catch-22. It's a tough situation. It's a effed up situation to put those veterans and that rookie in, and it's based on the bag. Indiana is based on the bag. And as you said yesterday's live, it's not based on the love of the game and the progression. They want everything to be at Indiana. They want everything to be instant gratification, instant. And that's where it's going to get ugly, like you said, before it gets better. Some people are going to lose jobs. Some things are going to be moved around because it's not about progressing a franchise of players the right way. It's about the bag. And that's where, me as a basketball coach and a lover, I love the sport. But in this instance, this is not high school or college. They're trying to get to millions to billions of dollars. So that's what it is.
Coach, drop your channel so they can subscribe.
Gotcha.
Kansas Basketball Academy Foundation. Kansas Basketball Academy Foundation, y'all. Y'all see him in the chat. This is so when I'm talking Kansas Basketball Academy, this is Kansas Basketball Academy Foundation right here, fam. Coach Coleman.
Did I spell Kansas? There we go. Did I drop it for y'all?
Yep, it's in there. They should be able to click on it.
All right. So
at least typing in. I don't know if they can click on it.
So 17, we got Washington and Connecticut. Again, another good game. Washington, I don't give away more victories. I don't believe in participation trophies and certificates. So, but again, another good outing for the Mystics. They lose by 7 to Connecticut Sun.
So at this point, I'm not really clear what's going on with the Mystics. I'm not a fan. I don't follow many of them. But Aaliyah Edwards seems to be coming into her own there. But what I'm wondering is issue with Washington, the coach? Is this a coaching issue? I didn't watch a lot of them
Donovan
last
had
season.
mentioned that. Donovan in our chat had mentioned that. You know, it's a possible coaching. It's not the chemistry with the players and the coach. That can happen. You can have. They can be good. A coach can be good at what they do, but if you're not, your chemistry. It has happened to me. In the 22, 23 years I've coached, it's like sometimes you also got to be like, this is not the fit. I'm not the right coach for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna say lost the team, but as
Right.
younger players start to come in, they may have different or challenges in being able to relate. But just when I look at these names, if I was just to see them all pretty much on a piece of paper for the ones that I recognize, I remember them all pretty much being solid, if not solid to good, if not a few of these names excellent basketball players. And so I'm not sure what the issue is. It's not it's clearly not in like the fundamentals of free throw shooting or anything, because even they bigs seem like they shoot pretty good free throws.
Right.
They seem like they rebound. So at this point, to me, it's how the talent is being used and put together on the court, and then that's we have to reflect on the coach at that point. But again, Dejanay Carrington on one. She's on one for this season. So far.
She had 21 points.
And if you're gonna let DeWanna Bonner get 22 or 6, you at least got to keep Alyssa Thomas from getting to 13 and 11. I know that's a tall order. It's a tall order, but you can't have DeWanna and Dejanay going off for more than 20 and Alyssa, getting that double like that and expect that you're gonna be able to pull out a win against these ladies. They're just too seasoned, too much veteran knowledge here. Again, a team that was quite frankly, could have been the team that showed up to play Las Vegas in the finals last year. So
exactly.
Got to respect them. They are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah, Connecticut is a solid team. Double-digit scorers for Washington Mystics. You have Carly Samuelson, the other Samuelson, the sister.
Okay, Roger, let's go.
Right. She had 18 points. Whoever thought he would have a good R&B, music, right? 18, Roger.
Not that tickled you like that, where you had to crack up a minute on Marquez Houston like that. Hold on.
Right. 18. Sakira Austin had 10. Julie Van Loo had 12, and that was all, folks. So I think if they had a third person who was able to get double digits, it would have put a different spin on that game. So it looks like Mystics needs three players to average double digits for them to possibly get it.
Sound like that is kind of like the key for them right now. They need a big three.
Yep, they need a big three. So I already jumped to the 18th.
Still Freddie is still coming. Nightmare on whatever street they play on in New York and Indiana.
Wait a minute. Did you already talk about the Seattle and Lynx game? Did you talk about that one?
Nah, I forgot. We could talk about them too. Again, it's
how you feel about Peely's play in Lynx. I mean, she's getting a lot of clock. She's on the floor.
She's getting a lot of clock. I think that this was a game where she looked much more comfortable. I think this was the game where Peely looked much more comfortable. Finally kind of started to get going. She was 2 or 3 from the floor, 1 or 2 from 3. And I think it was a 3 that she knocked down first. Finished with 5 points. It had to be feel good for her to be able to see those things, and that's a great confidence builder for her right there. But again, Nafisa Collier, you let her give you 29 and 9, and then you let Alana turn around and give you 16 and 5. Kayla comes and gives you 19 and 4, and then Courtney Williams turns around and gives you 10, 6, and 6. Hard to beat a team when they're clicking like that.
That's hard.
The Minnesota Lynx are surprising me. I didn't expect them to be playing like this this early, but again, I think they're only really having to. And then Dorca's not there, so I thought that Dorca being away would have them, a couple paces back, but they are here. They mean business, and it looks like we're going to be talking about them for a minute.
Yeah, I think they're a pleasant surprise right now, Minnesota Lynx. They showing up and showing out.
My bad for skipping over the Lynx. My bad, y'all.
They had 4 players in that win. 4 players with double digits.
Mm-hmm.
So I think right now you got to call Nafisha the truth Collier, because she is the truth
Look
right
like
now.
she's delivering so far.
Yeah. Elena Smith had 16. Caleb McBride had 19, and then Courtney Williams showed up with 10. So that was your 4 right there, double digits,
Right.
and everybody else chipped in, which got them the dub. You know, I mean, they just chipped in. I think here was the thing. I'll be honest with you. Everyone that got in the game except one player scored.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that
That's
was
good
active
balance.
on the roster, everybody but one seatbelt player scored in that game for the Lynx.
Yeah, I mean that's good balance. That's good balance, and that's also a good use of starters and bench players. Look like who's that? Cheryl up there. Uh,
Reeves.
yeah, I think she's doing a damn good job for the beginning of this season.
Yeah. I agree. Nika, she's out, right? NECA is out right now. No.
Yeah, I think she's out. I think she rolled her ankle,
Okay.
and I
But in that game, she
so
had
if they don't have
24. Huh?
she played in that game. Is that the game where she was playing and got hurt and went out?
Her, I think there's got to be, because
Okay.
she had 24. Jewel Loyal had 20, and Skylar Diggins 22, and that was your 3 double digit scorers. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Again, there was everybody except 2 players that were active on the roster. Only 2 players did not score for Seattle Storm. So it was well managed roster, well played, people contribute. So you can't say those 2 not scoring. I feel if we go to the tape of that, I guarantee you is rebounding,
Okay.
control of the boards. That's what we talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, well, appreciate you being in champion mentality. I think we got
I
18th,
think we
right?
got I think we got Saturday left, right?
Yep, Saturday, 18th.
Indiana Fever, New York Liberty. This was the this was. I mean, you returned to the scene of the crime. This is what I call the screen game. This is where they set her up with the screen out. Indiana showed some fight here. This was. I mean, I think at least they didn't get beat by 20. Definitely trying to figure it out. Aaliyah Boston ended up with 12 and 7. I think she even had a block. I think she even had a block. But again, the one thing about Indiana is like they had 4 people in double digits, which you would think would be like, hey, they should be able to pull out a win.
Right.
But when you look at New York, and you're gonna let Brianna go for 24, 5, 2, 4 steals and 3 blocks, Stewie has that type of stat line. It really doesn't matter what everybody else does. But then you turn around and you give Jonquel the double with 14 and 12, and then you still give up another 12 to UNESCO, and then Courtney Vandersloot. No, you let her come up with 10 on 4, 10 and 4. Like
right, you give them 10. Yeah, you had 5 players in New
it's
York.
apparent. Exactly, and this was the game that I think Marquisha Davis got to play in. She didn't do anything but be on the floor for about 2 minutes, but this was one of those games where maybe they could have figured it out if they had some chemistry, but again, not enough defense from this team. Not enough defense from this team, and when Caitlin's on the floor, pretty much there's going to be a guard that's going to be able to get off until she's at a point where she's
She played that shadow defense.
exactly. You got her, and then sometimes you see 3 shadows, and she's like, she goes for the 2 on the outside instead of the 1 in the middle. It's like, come on, you gotta know where to go here. So I think it's the same story with them. Indiana, New York Liberty is going to be a tough out for any team this season.
Yeah.
So to have them to have to play them this many times to start the season has to be a little disheartening, but it'll prove to be beneficial later down the stretch.
Right. So the double-digit scores for New York for that game: Laney Hamilton 13, Stewie 24, Jonquel 14, Sabrina, that's cool, 12, Vandersloot, no,
No,
Vandersloot. As you already said, Indiana Fever had Melissa Smith had 11. AB Boston had 12. Caitlin Clark had 22. Kelsey Mitchell had 17. So there was a offensive effort there. It just wasn't enough stops, as you already mentioned. You already shared that with us. The defensive rotation, anytime, fam, that you look at India, that is a work in progress. Their defense is a work in progress. Their rotations are so slow, especially when you got one or two players that are sus on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes your team work a little bit harder. Moving on to the next game. On what was it, the 18th? I lost my spot. Okay. Los Angeles and Vegas, right? We talked about that game already, right?
You talked about Vegas. You wanted to talk about them right away. I don't have much to say here except this was the game where I saw the length really start to bother Asia a little bit. This was the game that I saw her really have to make an adjustment. Cameron Brink's length bothered her, as well as Lai Ueru. I'm not sure how to say her name. Lee Ueru. I don't know disrespect. I don't know that she's going to be a big scorer for the Sparks, but I think that she'll definitely change some shots, and she'll also get some rebounds. This is, here's the situation. Like I said, Derek Hamby, this was her get back game. She was an ace. She had been an ace. She wanted that. I think she wanted that game pretty bad. Probably circled it pretty early in the season when the schedule came out. She gave us 29-9, and then she still had an assist and 3 steals. If you give Hamby that, and then you let Kia Nurse still give you 13, and you let Lexi Brown still give you 16,
right?
And then Rakia is able to chip in with 13. Listen, again, the Sparks are going to be a tough out for some people. They're definitely going to be a tough out for some people, and I think as they continue to gel and figure out who they are, and like I said, if this thing is going to run through De'Erica Hamby or what they're going to do, but once they figure out their identity, I think they're going to start to continue to kind of keep stacking up wins.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. You're talking about the Sparks and the Aces that add some pieces, and I think they have.
Oh, MJ Lover sure comes with a couple bumps in the road. But when I'm looking at the league, the Sparks was the first team that had the length to bother her. I think Dallas added some length that'll change some of the stuff that Asia does. Not that she won't be able to do it, but we'll just be able to see her getting her bag a little bit more.
Right. So we got Teaspoon's first career win on the 18th, Saturday the 18th versus the Wings. I watched that game. I was impressed with, what I was impressed with? The adjustments they made the second game against the Wings. Like, you made some solid adjustments.
Well, I'm going to say this. I don't even think the adjustments came at the beginning of the game. What impressed me here was that they were able to get 6 players in double digits, and they were also able to make adjustments at the half to come back to be able to win this game. Like, they made a decision at the half, like, we finna get this thing done. We're gonna go win. And I think that stood out the most for me in this game. I think they came back and won. If you look at quarters 1, quarters 2, they only put up 30 points between those 2 quarters. They were able to put up like 53 points over the next 2 quarters. And in quarter 11, when Enrique was able to give them 11 in the last game, she gave them 11 by herself. They held the entire team to 11. So I think Chicago's defense, which I think is where Teaspoon is really going to lock in and be able to show them an opportunity to win some games that they shouldn't be in, just by playing really fierce and competitively on defense is what's going to be able to carry them. And again, one of my dark horses, because they're doing this stuff without a Camila Cardoso on the floor. And I know that people are going to say, Camila's, rookie 6'7", people will be able to deal with it. But pretty much I've seen every team play so far in the WNBA. I don't see a player 6'7" that's moving like Camila, that's going to run the floor. And a lot of times what I see that these ladies have have trouble with is catching the ball in transition and finish it. A lot of times they catch it in transition and then they gotta dribble it or they gotta gather themselves. Camilla's able to catch the ball and finish because that's what she just spent the last 12 to 24 months doing. So when she gets back, I expect them to be to really be a force to reckon with.
Right. And so, and just
But a
for
great
a
win for
side
them.
note, they kept Segrist Maddie to 6 points.
That bothers you. You can't let Seegers go off. I'm with you.
Enrique had double digits, 35, and Kalani Brown had 11. So that's what they did. They decreased the production, offensive production. They said we're gonna let. So they say, okay, we're gonna let Enrique go up, but we're gonna shut everything else down. That was
that's one of my favorite attacks. You can get yours. Everybody else gonna be quiet.
Right. And then your double-digit scores for the Sky was Shields, the Shields 16, Reese 11, Elizabeth Williams 12, Mabry 14, 12, Kennedy Carter 12. I think she can be special too. Carter,
absolutely.
I like what she brings to the table, and so therefore, I'm impressed in post game and pre game how high they talk of their coach, and it doesn't feel or seem fake. It's genuine vibes. I'm very impressed with that energy.
Oh, absolutely.
Towards Coach Teaspoon and how she makes an effort to connect with those grown women, because they
absolutely.
Because they grown, they on their own. What the song say? She got her own.
She got her own. Exactly.
Last game here, we got Dream and Mercury. I feel like the Dream gave that game away. But what's your take? Because they were in the driver's seat most of the game until that last minute 30 in the fourth quarter. And then
so
the momentum swing.
I think a couple things with the Atlanta Dream. I think, and again, this was one of the things we talked about. Tina Charles, in 26 minutes, 27 minutes this time, only gave him 6 points, still 3 rebounds, 4 assists, but compared to the output that she had in the other game, it was almost like I'm all the way back kind of stat line. So I think that hurt them there, but it also just comes down to Atlanta Dream. And again, some of the same things that I've been saying about a lot of these teams is, who are you? What's your identity? Who's the closer? Who is that person when it's time to go get a basket, goes and gets that done for him? Is that Ryan Howard? Is that Alicia Gray? Who is that? What does that look like? And then Crystal Dangerfield also chipped in with 10, getting some good minutes pretty much out of everybody on the team. But again, I think, who are you when it's time to lock in and go get it done? Who's the lockdown defender? Who makes the plays? And I don't know, when you think about the Atlanta Dream, that you think of a face of that team or somebody that's just going to make the play.
You don't know, man. I like Ron Howard, but she's not that she can score, but then I don't know if she drives the team on Atlanta.
I mean, I don't know if she drives the team, but the other thing is too that Kalia Copper gave him 38. So when you gonna let Kalia Copper give you 38 and 8 rebounds?
He gave you the family pack of chicken.
Oh, did she? And then Natasha Mack bought the sides with the 7 points and 11 rebounds.
Right.
And Diana Taurasi, she's coming with 15 and 7. Very veteran, crafty team. Going to win some games that they're not supposed to, just off of
experience,
just off of sheer being experience. I say it all the time. My dad used to say, young horse run fast, old horse know the way. They're gonna keep it close until the last 2-3 minutes, and then they're gonna exert the energy that it takes to get the win. And that's just knowing how to pace themselves, being older and knowing that they don't have a lot to be able to give. Like, they ain't got time to be running. They're not gonna be running around 40 minutes. Not this group. Too many miles on their legs, but they'll stay close for 36 and then go hard for 4 and end that thing. So
they know pace and space. They know how to pace the game. They know how to control the tempo, and that if you're working well as a team and you can score and you can. Here's the thing: professional with the shot clock. What it's about with professional basketball, it is taking away possessions from your other team. So if you can run down that shot clock, you just took, and now they got to shoot with 8 seconds. So some teams, if you notice in the WNBA, there's some teams that'll pick up full court, not always to get a steal. They want to wear that clock down.
Oh, absolutely.
And take a possession away from you. So it's about decreasing the possessions. It's similar to pro basketball is very similar to football, right?
Oh, there's definitely a method to the madness.
Possessions. It's all about possessions, right? Increasing your offensive possessions and decreasing how many touches the other team gets on there. So for Atlanta Dream, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 players in double digits.
Mm-hmm.
You had Ryan Howard. You had Cheyenne Parker-Tyus. You had Alicia Gray and Crystal Dangerfield, which I thought she was. I think she didn't get the credit she deserved when she was playing in college. And I'm not a UConn fan, but I thought she was underrated.
Okay. Well, she in the big leagues now, so she got it. She got to be able to do that. But I definitely understand what you were saying about using the clock, and that's okay, far better this season than last. Absolutely, and that it's one of the most important things. It's how you control the pace and the space by being able to use that shot clock, being aware of it, and then making it that sixth player for you on the floor.
All right, and so the first week really stops us at the 18th because the Sunday's game is considered that second week, unless you wanted to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We can leave it for our next review, or we can talk about the Seattle-Washington game real quick. I know you got to go because we get ready soon, so I don't want to hold you up.
We can start the conversation.
Okay. All right, fam. So we're going to end our review with the May 19th game. Our week 1 review will end with the May 19th. Seattle Storm 84. Washington Mystics 75. Let's go to the stat facts. What you got, Cess?
Miss Peach, Political Lil, what's good, y'all? Thanks for coming and hanging out. So it was 84-75. Seattle looked a lot better, but again, I think this is going to be where we start to see NECA not playing. And so this is where I'm saying that, sometimes you got all that stuff on your card and you put them spinners on it, and it's like, well, why? And now it looks old and outdated, and they were looking old and outdated with all those pieces in Seattle, and now they look like they had a little bit more space, like they were a little bit more comfortable. And that's not a shot at NECA, but it may just be too much good stuff in one spot. You know what I mean? So I was happy to see them pull out the win. Ezzy gave them 15. Jewel had 24. Skylar gave him 18. And I think, you didn't need a NECA. No. And I think that Nika actually helps more here in that spot, in that space. But you have Majadu with 2. Most of the heavy lifting done by the big vets, and then kind of trying to figure everything else, figure out what's around them. I think their goal was to kind of be a big 3, and then fit in pieces around them. I just don't know if their big 3 fits together. And they may actually do better with kind of going with a for sure 2, and then whoever steps up, and that may give them a little bit more a little bit more of an opportunity to win some games that they might be out of. But definitely, I think getting Nika back on the floor will help them. I think it's not that I don't think that the Fever can beat the Storm. I think the Storm are in a situation where they're like, we'll be damned. We'll be damned if you get your first win on us. And I think that's people's approach to Indiana right now. It won't be on us. Not on us. Not tonight. And so this is why they still may be on their way to going 0-7, because people was like, oh, they 0-4? Who we gonna look like if they get up? No. Exactly. Who we gonna look like if we let them get that win on us like that? Like, no. Like you said, Coach. Now nobody wants to be that headline, right? If Caitlin had went out there and just got her first win off rip on the first game, Caitlin gets her first win. Now, It's a different type of headline.
Right.
Oh, you know,
They try to put him on. They try to put the Seattle on a milk carton, boy.
listen, Seattle like, no, not us, buddy.
No.
Yeah, Bree Wayne, they probably talking about it being a must-win game. They do a good job on the boards. Yeah.
Oh, Storm just
Oh yeah,
don't have a bench.
that
They
first win is inevitable. RC, it's coming. That
Right.
first win is coming. But and Bree Wayne, they probably can't beat Seattle for real. But the other problem that they're gonna have is that Nika's playing this next out.
Oh,
Right, and so whatever is going on with her is gonna be like, I think she's gonna be trying to have a game of her own.
Yeah.
Jalita Pearson, what's up with the Angel Reese investment? What investment? What you talking about there?
Football.
Oh yeah, owning the football team. I think that's dope for her.
Yeah.
Definitely stacking up the bread. I thought something else had happened. So every time I turn my phone off or something, Angel seemed like Angel got something else popping. So thought it was something else new.
All right, so for the Mystics, no.
No, Bree Wayne, they can beat Seattle, but I don't think that Seattle wants to let them. I think Seattle is just like, no, not us. We can't. Nobody wants to be that first win now. They're gonna be Indiana finally gets a win, and then it's gonna be versus
you want to be on ESPN like that
over and over and over and over. Because y'all know when she get her first win, it ain't just gonna be on ESPN. It's gonna be on every place they can put it. These teams not trying to be that now. If she'd have got that first win, that first game, that second game, now they 0-4. Listen,
you got me messed up. We ain't even.
They ain't trying to do it now. And are they 0-4?
That's what you're gonna catch. All right, so
they're the only 0-4 team too. So
for this thing, I can't laugh because you telling the truth, Auntie Cess. It's like no.
That was a good point you made. Yeah, it is no. Not here. Not here, buddy.
Mystics for that game. Mystics had Carly Samuelson, one of the twin sisters, had 13.
Go ahead, Roger.
Ariel Atkins had 19. Shatori Walker Kimbrough had 12. And that was their double-digit scores. For the Storm, Ezzie McGore had 15. Jewel Lloyd got a little crazy. Had 24. Every time I hear Jewel Lloyd, I always think Santana. Jewel Santana.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why I go there. Jewel Santana.
Definitely though. That's a good call though. She definitely looked more comfortable on the floor. She had more space to operate.
Yeah, she did. She looked very more comfortable though. Skylar Diggins had 18. So that was your double-digit score. And I think that was the difference. You had your main players or expected players contribute the way they needed to, and then everybody filled in. And then, as somebody said in the chat, Seattle does a good job of controlling the boards, the battle boards. If you watch their games up to this point, they're very intentional about controlling the boards, which if you control the boards, you control the pace of the game.
Oh, yeah, that is key, especially in the WNBA.
So if you control the rebounds, if you control the boards, you control the pace of the game.
Absolutely.
We're almost at the head of the chat here. This is my thing, fam. When we talk about WNBA, we talk about pro. One, you talk about those who make the roster have a quick transition and they're on a fast learning curve. There's expectation because there's money on the table and there's money on the line. That's just the reality of it. So if you don't produce, next person up that's going to also produce, because if you produce, that leads to dollars. And that's, and that's the same thing that's happened in college. It's just a little bit more grace in college. They give they still considered students, so they give them a little bit more grace. Now you're pros, you got to put your grown uniform on and go to work. Okay, clock in, right? So what we see is, you talk about coaches having their head. Here's the thing: coaches know what they sign up for. It's a thankless profession. So, it's expected. And then I don't say that in a negative way. I just say that here's the thing. Fans want what they want. Professional fans, they want results because you're invested. Fans invest financially in their teams. So I get it. It works both ways. So in the
Oh yeah.
professional, even on the college level, fans are invested. They buy tickets. They buy memorabilia, paraphernalia. They buy. I mean, so it's invested.
But okay, but college is also kind of like a cheat code, though, Coach, right? Because
He said Chico.
yeah, because in the sense of like,
is that left, right, start?
no, you got to hit A, click
A.
the right trigger 3 times. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Triangle, triangle, triangle. I'm gonna
Triangle,
place
triangle.
over
Okay.
here. But what I mean by that is that like the fan base isn't going anywhere, and it's the only fan that's gaining more fan bases every year, whether just by the students coming in. So paraphernalia is going to get sold, but some of that paraphernalia is some people are buying it for the number that's on it and who it symbolizes, but sometimes they're just buying it because it's their school colors, it's their school, it's what they know to do, right? So it's a little easier at the college level because you get a whole new fan base at the beginning of every year to try to sell on your product. Where the WNBA, nobody's signing up to go there. There's no classes that, if you're a fan and you're wearing that gear, it's because you are you bought in. You're dedicated now to that. So they definitely got to do a better job of giving their fans an opportunity to build that type of connection and relationship with their league to be able to see that type of success.
Definitely. The thing is new coaches, veteran coaches. What I would encourage people to look at is when you look at the game, and if you're a fan, whatever your favorite team is, do I see them getting the most out of what they have right now, maximizing the best out of the talent that you have right now? And so it is not just a head coach. It takes a whole coaching staff to work on that, to put players and personalities in the position to shine in their strengths. So that's the thing. So that's really what coaching is about, especially the pro level. Are you managing those skills where you put in the positions to best help your team and be efficient? But at the end of the day, defense.
Absolutely.
You got to stop the ball.
Got to be a master delegator, and you got to be able to stop the ball. Absolutely, I agree.
You can't let nobody run through you.
Go get set up, head on a swivel.
So here before we clock out on this segment, are we going to let it know when you like these reviews, the Cess and Champion Mentality? Do we get to do a week 2 review? I would love to do these reviews with you. If that's something you feel is possible for us, let me know. Cess, if that think you something possible, I would love to do a week by week review with you because no.
No. No, I appreciate any opportunity to be able to talk women's hoops, Coach. I appreciate you having me on the platform, allowing us to do this across the 2 channels. We will definitely figure out a name and a time and a specific time so that people know to be able to expect us at the same time every month or every other week, whatever that's going to look like. We can definitely figure that out. I definitely want to shout out to the fans, humble all the time that you guys show up. When I cut this microphone on to talk hoops with us, not a lot of chat interaction in this episode. More kind of like breaking down. But now that we've had that, I am back live tonight at 7:30. Come hang out with me and watch the game. We'll talk some more hoops. We can go over some of the stuff that I missed in the chat because I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. But again, let's keep growing this thing. If you're not already following Kansas Basketball Academy, please go over and give him a sub. Like the videos, run it up, share it out so we can keep the conversation going. Coach, humble, appreciate you having me on the show. It's your favorite TV Knuckle Tendencies. Glad to be here.
Appreciate you. Remember, be great in your preparation, become excellent in your performance, and look forward to hearing from you in Cess Talk Sports Chat tonight. We got games, right? We got one game tonight, right?
Yeah, we got games tonight. And then I think we got 2 games tonight. Let me just double check. I think we're on a double header because I think the Aces play tonight. So yeah, fam, I think I'm starting at 7:30 tonight. If I got that right, 7:30. So we got the Wings versus the Atlanta Dream. And we're gonna follow that up with the Phoenix and the Aces, or the Mystics and the Sparks. So 3 games on, 2 playing at the same time. We'll go back and forth. Y'all know how we do. We'll get down to the bottom of whatever's going on in these games.
All right. Until then, love and basketball.
Appreciate you. Peace.